Alright, last proof. We're going to take our proof, we're going to bring it down to the bottom. So, triangle Ztx is congruent to triangle STR. Let's figure out what shortcut we can use. So looking at the given, T is the midpoint of XR and TS. Okay? So T is the midpoint of both of these line segments. So it's the midpoint of XR, so that means that this is congruent to that. And it's the midpoint of TS, and I'm pretty sure this is supposed to read ZS. Let's go ahead and change it. So this is congruent to that. We know that vertical angles are congruent, so we can mark that. And immediately I see that this triangle must be congruent because of side angle side. So let's figure out how we got there. Going back to the given, this was given, okay? And because it is the midpoint, ZT is congruent to ST, and XT is congruent to RT based on the definition of a midpoint. And angle ZTX is congruent to angle STR because of vertical angles. Okay? Now, questions on the bottom. It says that line L and line M are parallel to each other. Here's L and here's M. State whether the following pairs of angles are congruent or supplementary. So ABC and CBD. Supplementary. ABC and FBD congruent because they are vertical angles. CBD and BFG are corresponding, so they are congruent. CBD and HFE are alternate exterior, so they are congruent. Alright, so it says if ABC is 10x plus 8 and EFH is 6x plus 12, what's the measure of ABC? So the first thing we have to do is we have to figure out how are these two angles related. Okay. Now noticing this angle and this angle right here are corresponding, so they would be congruent because they're both above their lines and to the left of the transversal. So since those two angles are congruent, I'm going to go ahead and place this right here. Okay. Now these two angles lie on this line, which would make them a linear pair. So 6x plus 12 plus 10x plus 8 equals 180 degrees. And I'm going to combine like terms. 6x plus 10x is 16x, and 12 plus 8 is 20. Subtract 20 from both sides. I get 16x is equal to 160. Divide both sides by 16, and x is equal to 10. Now, I'm not done because they asked me what the value or how much ABC was. So I'm going to plug 10 into x. 10 times 10 is 100, plus 8 equals 108 degrees. That is our answer. So W and angle X are complementary angles, which means they are 90 degrees. They sum to 90 degrees. Now the measure of angle W is 60, so I'm going to write this down. W plus X is 90 degrees. W is 60, and angle Y is 1/6 of X. Angle Y is 1/6 of X. Now, since they're complementary, X has to be 90 degrees, right? So angle W is 60, angle X is 30 degrees, okay? They say angle Y is 1/6 of angle X. Well, 6 goes into 35 times, so 1/6 of 30 is 5. And angle Z is half the measure of angle W, so angle Z has to be 30. Now, what's the difference between angle Y and angle Z? Difference means subtract, so the difference between angle Y and angle Z is negative 25. So again, angle Y, 5, minus angle Z, 30, would be negative 25 degrees. So that is the difference between those two angles.